Hey to my favorites. Happy holidays. Angie here, single mom, educator, therapist, who likes to talk about all things in life that are helping me have the most solid life possible in hopes that it'll inspire you to do the same. So it's the end of 2022, and naturally, I think like a lot of people, I start to think back on the positives and the negatives of 2022 of the year before. And today's post is about those things for me in regards to finance, specifically in regards to finance. So, as you all probably know, if you watch my channel frequently, am really big on financial literacy and financial security, especially as a single mom who has a young son that is in third grade. So he's growing. He's eating a lot more, you guys. He really loves the private school that he goes to. So I really have to think about finances a lot to make sure that his well-being is, you know, first. So that is something that I do quite frequently. So I wanted to talk about some of the ways that I've done really well with finances over the past year and how I plan to change some things going into 2023. So, for starters, I think the biggest one is that I've managed to, well, keep my job all year. No, income is like the greatest wealth building tool, as Dave Ramsey says. And I have posts about Dave Ramsey too, if you want to see my views on him. But I do think that that is one of his very sound views: is that your income is what's really going to help you secure will have some financial security. So, keeping a job and having a job that meets your needs, as well as allows you to do some other things like save and live a pretty balanced lifestyle, is super important, in my opinion. So, I managed to do that this year. You all probably know that I work as a diversity director at a private school. My son also attends that school, and I rent from my employer. So all of those things has helped with balancing my finances because I've gotten some discounts there. And we've also been just happy with the way that our lifestyle has been as I've been working there. So that was great. We also got a cost of living increase this year. This is my third year at the school. And the first year there was no cost of living increase. And going into this school year, we actually got one. It's only like a couple percentage. I don't even know, maybe like 1%, maybe two. I think it was 2%. We got a 2% cost of living increase. Yeah, thinking about it. So that was helpful. It's not the be all end all, but that was something that was. Another thing is that I kept the budget all year. So, and I kept the budget each month, and I made sure that I went in and I really looked at it thoroughly, added expenses, took things off, make sure I accounted for savings, make sure I checked to see where I went over from month to month. I actually got on budget billing for my gas and my electric, which has helped a lot because it's helped me balance my finances throughout the year rather than paying like huge sums in the summer or winter when I'm running air conditioning or heat. So that really helped a lot too. So I did that. I kept a monthly budget, made sure I stuck to it as much as possible. I didn't always succeed, but it did really help me look at some of the things that were off from month to month so that I could then go back, recalculate, look and see, okay, where am I overspending? Were things necessary? If I can change things, if not, just making sure that I was being realistic. Something else that I did was I looked at my some of my subscriptions that I wasn't using. I forgot that I had signed up for Audible a while ago because my son wanted to listen to an audiobook and just never canceled it. So that was like an extra almost $17 a month coming out of my account for several months that I hadn't even realized. So I went back and canceled that. I canceled my gym membership because I wasn't using it. However, that might change going forward. But I did get rid of that. It was only $10 a month, but it was $10 a month that I wasn't like really using because I actually have like gym equipment here and a treadmill. And if fitness in general is something that I'm going to start working on more in 2023. But I did cancel that membership until I figure out what that's going to look like for myself. Something else I'm adding though in that regard is an annual budget. I was actually watching a video of a woman who on YouTube who actually does an annual budget, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. And what she does is she like keeps she makes a kind of spreadsheet of all the extra things kind of outside of just the regular expenses that she would spend monthly, like on food and gas, the utilities. Uh, she makes a budget for actual other things that might come out, like birthdays. Like for example, I know my son and I both have birthdays in March. Mine's a pretty big one this year, so I'm going to spend a little extra. His is, I always do something for him. So I actually was able to like put those on paper so that I remember when the time comes in that month to add them in and calculate that into the budget. Things like my car insurance, I only do that every 6 months. So I made sure I put that on there too. So I made an annual budget this year to go into 2023, which I think is something that's going to be super helpful. Some of the other great things that happened financially, my student loan debt is gone thanks to the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program that was wiped back in May. So I no longer have any debt. That was the last of my debt. Um, Another thing that I did was I ditched cable. Yes. So when I moved here in 2023, I started a contract. I'm sorry, when I moved here in 2020, what am I saying? I started a contract with Comcast, Xfinity, because they have a monopoly in this area. There's not really any other services offered. So I had to contract with them and did a triple play for phone, TV, internet, and my home that was actually super cheap. It was even cheaper than I had back at my own place. But that contract ended in October of this year. So I went back in and was like, do you have anything similar? No, they didn't. So I just decided to only get internet with them and then go with a cheaper streaming service for TV because to be honest, my son doesn't watch television. He doesn't watch like cartoons on it. He watches Netflix mostly at his dad's house, and here he watches YouTube. So I'm the one who's mostly watching the television programs. So I just went with Philo and Peacock because they both have the shows and the channels that I like. And instead of it being like $206 a month, which it was going to be on Comcast, with their internet package, it's just over 100, and then with Philo, I'm spending about 136 a month total with taxes for our internet and TV. So yeah, that was huge savings, like $70 savings a month there, which we know is going to be oof, several hundred a year. Some other things that I did good this year, but I'm also questioning. I started an LLC. You all probably know that I started doing some therapy services as I was finishing out my license, which I'm done with now. But I still have a couple of clients I'm going to be seeing under the LLC, continuing into 2023. But I have to be honest, like with the expenses going out for the upkeep of the LLC, and even though it's virtual, I'm still like not. I'm just barely breaking even. I haven't been able to like pay myself a salary, and to go up in clients would mean I would be giving up some time at my full time job, which I'm not really sure I want to do. So I'm still kind of in limbo with how I feel about my business. I am going to talk to my tax professional. I have a new tax professional, which is something else great that I did. I got a tax professional and a new financial advisor, and I love both of them, both very phenomenal women um, who are really helping me out. So I'm going to talk to my tax professional about whether or not I should even continue with the LLC going forward, like what that should look like. I don't know. I mean, I love like my the platform that I'm using for it, but I don't know if it's worth it, you guys, like to keep it up. So I'm going to talk to her and see what she thinks on the money side and go from there because like there's expenses. I have to pay for an address, a mailbox with UPS. I have to pay for advertising through Psychology Today. Then I use Simple Practice as a platform to actually bill. and give diagnosis on there when my licensure comes in. And I also pay for my website, which is not that much. It's like $20 a year. But just, I don't know. I'm not sure I necessarily need all of that. So I'm going to think about it a little bit. Something else, one more thing that I did get rid of is cleaning services. And not really got rid of them quite yet. I probably will in February. February will probably be my last one, for many reasons. But I went down from every 2 weeks, and in January and February, I'm only gonna have her come once a month, and then I'm gonna try to take it over from there because it was a huge expense. You guys, it was a couple thousand, yeah. So it just wasn't. Yeah, it's not working out anymore based on some of the other needs that I have. One more thing that I'd like to do in 2023 is I really want to think about home buying. So I do have a real estate agent that we are working together. We've been working together since 2021. I realized, but in June of 2023, it'll be 4 years post bankruptcy for me, post my Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which means that I will be able to apply for and qualify for a conventional loan, which opens up doors on what types of properties I can choose and down payment options and things like that. So I'll talk about like loan types in another video, but that is something that I'm thinking about is home buying. So that's pretty much it. If there's anything that you feel like you've done really, really well this year, I'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear some money saving tips, or at least I will. I mean, I would. If you could put those in the comments, let me know so I can maybe implement some of them. Well, I've been on for 12 minutes now, so I wish you all the happiest of New Year's, and I will see you in 2023 as we talk more about keeping up with ourselves. Take care. Bye.